us the strength and the health and the wisdom to share what these people
We're
need.
live.
Are we? I thought this was the countdown.
Welcome, everyone. We are so excited to be here.
Hey, everybody.
This is going to be an amazing program. You see, everybody's there, and we've got a lonely Tower Garden down there by itself, but I will be joining it soon. I'm Chaundria Singleton, and I am able to give this presentation with three wonderful people. We are not avid gardeners. We're not professionals. We're regular people just like you all, and we're going to tell you more about that. Dianna, introduce yourself.
Hi, my name is Dianna Mioni, and I currently live in Derby, Connecticut. And I was introduced to the Tower Garden by Hamilton.
Nice. And Hamilton, introduce yourself.
Hey, everybody. My name's Ham Brower. I go by Ham. And Dianna and I both are up here in Connecticut. And we are so excited to be sharing the Tower Gardens with you all tonight. We're getting snow tonight. So we're going to tell you about why that's so much fun when you can grow indoors. And it's so exciting to be here.
And last but not least, Miss Charlene, Chef Charlene, as the hat says.
Yes, hello. I am Charlene Woodruff. I am a registered nurse, and I'm a sassy senior. And I am helping people in Atlanta, Georgia with Chaundria to learn how to grow non-GMO, non-sprayed food. So we're going to give you some great information tonight.
Okay, you guys. So I am so excited to be here. My name is Chaundria again. I'm just going to start us off here with this Tower Garden here. This is an aeroponic vertical gardening system. I grow indoors and outdoors. I live in a climate that allows me to grow indoors and outdoors. But today I'm going to be showing you why I decided to grow indoors. So outdoors, I have two about 7 feet tall gardens that I've been growing before a large oak tree fell. And I'm kind of regrouping from there. So that's why I decided to come inside with this amazing gardening system. So a little bit about what I'm growing. I'm growing some cabbage. I'm growing some kale. I'm growing some collard greens. Yes, collard greens. These things are amazing. Now, my gardening experience is not very big. I am from the city of Fort Lauderdale. I'm not a country girl, but you would think I am by the way I love to garden. All my neighbors know, come to me for certain food. I've been gardening since 2006. And I say I was gardening the traditional way. The traditional way was with soil. I had 2 acres of property, and I made use of those 2 acres by growing everything year round, from watermelon to corn to beans to broccoli. I had a winter and a summer garden. And my husband was the tiller. So he was very excited when I got this type of gardening system. The way I was introduced to it was we moved from that property, moved into the city where the soil was terrible. And I was spending on average about $300 to $400 every summer to be able to get the soil in a way that it was nutritious enough to grow my food. Because my plants were like this big, I wasn't seeing the produce grow really well. So a friend of mine said, why don't you try out this gardening system? And I'm like, well, it doesn't have soil. It's not going to work. And I saw hers growing and saw several other people with these amazing gardens on their deck. I said, well, I could try it. Well, after trying one of them 3 years ago, I've got 3. I've got 3, and I grow about 90 plants year round. These are just the inside ones. I actually just cleaned it off 2 days ago with my old plants that I had been growing, some for 2 years. What do I use them for? Well, I use them for smoothies. I use them for juicing. I love juicing celery. I don't know the last time that you bought celery in a store, but I'm telling you, you have not tasted real celery until you've grown it yourself. And they're going to talk more about how this particular system works. So I'm going to talk more about how it works for my lifestyle. I like to travel. I'm not home that much. I have sciatica. So bending over in a garden did not work for me anymore. Spending all that money on the soil to build it up was just breaking the bank. This made more sense. Now, my husband says the water bill, he hasn't seen a change. You might be thinking, how does she grow 3 things? That's probably shooting her bills up. Power bill, he said about $1 or $2, he noticed the difference. And that's me running 2 or 3 at one time. So you don't have a big difference in how much you're spending. Now, do I save at the grocery store? Yes, I do. I love to buy fruits and vegetables. The reason I started gardening was because I became a vegan, started juicing 3-4 times a day, and that became expensive. That's why I started growing. What are some of the reasons in the comments why you guys grow food? I would love to know, if you could grow food, what would be the reason? Would it be for juicing, eating healthier? And then throw us a little bonus. What would the one thing that you would grow, what would it be? Some people say tomatoes, some people say bell peppers. Yes, I grow bell peppers, I grow poblanos, I grow everything. I grow okra on this. I grow tomatoes, cantaloupe, watermelon. I could go on and on, flowers, all type of things. And they are amazing. They taste great. I just get up in the morning, walk into my basement, and I speak to my flowers. Yes, I talk to them. Yes, I do. And this air is actually purified. This thing works as a purifier. The plants, I not only use them to eat, but they also clean the air in my basement. And it doesn't take up much space. I literally just pull it right back here by my guitars in the corner, and it grows. And that's it, you guys. So I hope this was practical for you to see how it fits into your life and to show you that gardening fits for anyone. And you know what? I don't do anything but fill it up with water, and they'll talk more about that, put a little nutrients in it, and the main thing I do is come and pick my food. So that is what these are for. They're amazing. Enjoy the rest of the program. Toodles!
Hey everyone, my name is Dianna, and I have a quick story to tell you about how I got involved with the Tower Garden. So I've been dealing with acne for a very long time. I deal with cystic acne, and for those of you that deal with cystic acne, know how painful it can be, and you're continuously seeing different doctors and being given different medications to take internally. To just kind of put a Band-Aid on it, but not really clear out exactly what's going on inside with your lymph system. So from here, I decided to try something that would not only change my lifestyle, but also change my skin condition. So from here, I had met Hamilton Brower, and he introduced me to the Tower Garden. And from there, I immediately started. It's been 6 months that I've been with the Tower Garden. And I got to tell you, it's been an amazing experience because I have not only been able to battle my cystic acne, but also keep it at bay. So I'm no longer receiving these discomforting nodules that would just pop up in the lymphatic areas. So that right there off the top of my list was just a winning point with the Tower Garden. And from here, I would also like to talk about the convenience of how amazing and easy and simple it is to be able to grow indoors as well as outdoors. When I had purchased my Tower Garden, I had purchased it around summertime. So I had the first true experience of growing with my Tower Garden outside, and probably like around the end of October is when I started to bring my Tower Garden in. I got it cleaned up, found a nice little space right here, as you see in the back, right behind me. And it's growing nicely. I got to say, it's a very nice experience having it inside the home as well as having it outside. I have been able to not be inconvenienced because I'm such a busy person. I work a lot. So for me, I'm very in and out of the house, but when I'm home, I take the time to actually care for the plants like they need to be, nurture them, give them their minerals, and feed them water, check the level of the water. I gotta say, I also have been able to, I calculated out the mathematical savings that I've been able to save at the end of the month. And I'm at about $320 in savings. And I have so far recently, in the past couple months, have also been able to bring a tower garden into our Ansonia, Connecticut location for the Boys and Girls Club. I see the importance of being hands-on and teaching the kids health and also math and science of behind growing with the aeroponic garden. So I took the opportunity to go ahead and talk to the administration there, and they were happy to be able to bring on a tower garden for free. That's something that J. Martin offers, which I think is a really wonderful part of the plan of the company, is that they are very wholehearted in giving back to the children, as well as educating others on health. So it didn't really take me long to jump on the bandwagon because I could see the benefits from owning a tower garden. Not only that, but the education behind children and being hands-on with learning how to grow aeroponically. Other than that, I'll go ahead and pass it on to Hamilton next. And thank you so much for your time, everyone.
Okay, hello there. I know I'm not Hamilton, but I'm Charlene, but you'll hear him next. I am a registered nurse and have been for over 40 years, helping sick children and adults. So nutrition is my thing here. So that's why I like the Tower Garden. I've been doing it for several years now. And when I grew up, we grew food in the yard. You all know how that was. Your grandmama, your great-grandmama, or your mama grew food. And that was important. It was nutritious. Well, right now, the food that is shipped has been cut, so the nutrition has gone way down. It has been sprayed, so you have pesticides that are not good for our body. They accumulate and cause disease. And also now, because they're mass producing food, they are genetically modified. Our bodies do not recognize the food that is genetically modified. So it goes in and it goes out. These are the vegetables and the fruit. So we get no nutrition at all. So growing in your home and outside your home, I knew would help your health. So let me just show you two things. I want you to see how economical this is, and also how affordable it is, and also how you grow food easily. First, I want to show you here, this is what the seed look like before you put it in. These are seedlings. They are ready to pop in a garden. As a matter of fact, I will be planting these tomorrow. There are companies across the U.S. who grow the seed for you in the rock wool. So let me just gingerly pull one out. And I don't know if you can see, but there are little roots on there. That means it is ready to plant. So when it grows, once you plant it, what you see behind me is what you get. You see the basil I have growing right now in my kitchen. Purple basil, green basil. I have arugula. I have other baby lettuces, and they will get humongous. I have harvested big heads of lettuce bigger than my head. And so you are getting it straight off the vine, bush, root, whatever. Now, what I want to show you is after you put it in, you get roots on it. I wanted to get one that has some good roots so that you could see. And these are right in here, okay? See, those are the roots, and they will get bigger and longer. The bigger the plant gets, the bigger the root gets. And you can harvest, 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 and it keeps growing, growing, growing. So this is something that we have found works. Even children like it because they can come up and pick some right off and eat it. And that really tastes like basil, y'all. I'm from Atlanta, and I know what fresh food tastes like, but it's been years since I've been able to taste fresh food. So I was thrilled to be able to get this. At the top, these are my baby greens. Microgreens. Did you all know microgreens have 40 times the nutrition that full-grown greens do? We need them both. But the big hype now is on microgreens, because things like the microgreens like this has 40 times the nutrition. And you can eat it right off the tower. That's arugula. It tastes great. Now I want to show you what I harvested today for my salad tonight. I'll bring it up close so you can see it. It took me 3 minutes to harvest this. I have the purple basil, the green basil. I have arugula. I have the baby microgreens with all that nutrition. All I will need to do is squeeze some lemon juice over it, crush some garlic, because I am a plant-based chef and a raw living food chef. This is living food. I put garlic on it, a little bit of olive oil, and a little bit of sea salt. Now, lastly, I want to tell you that things that grow outside of your garden, you can grow. This is celery that I purchased because I had eaten all of mine. And I cut it off, put it in water. It is growing, so I will be able to plant this in the tower, and it will keep growing. Now, as far as the economy, you're going to be surprised. When you purchase this tower, you get $202 worth of a gardening kit. Let me just briefly show you. You get your seed. You get 6 varieties of seed. You get your rock wool that you put in the garden. You get your baskets, more than this. You get your minerals, 2 containers. You get your pH, where you check the pH, and here's my label here. You get the timer. You get the motor that is in here. You get the tubing to empty it. It's a no-brainer. This is $202 worth of gardening equipment or supplies that if you purchase them one by one from the same company, you would spend $202. Plus, lastly, we can also tell you how you would be able to get $155 to $200 back from your purchase of this excellent growing system. So that's it. Simple as that.
This has been excellent. So we are going to share a short video with you guys before our next presenter comes up. Charlene hit on a lot of high points. So what is the Tower Garden? Let's see. That is amazing. So we talked about growing simply and easier, and Charlene showed us how to do that. Now let's invite Hamilton up, and he's going to take it.
Hey, everybody. I'm back. Wow, you ladies have done such a great job. And I think I'm going to be left with the geeky stuff. I'm going to focus a little bit on my story. I'm going to tell you a few things about why I love growing with tower gardens. And then I'm going to go into a little bit of the quality of the product and the materials that make it up. And I'm going to finish off with some research points and tell you a little bit more about how you can get involved with us and this incredible family of health-minded people if you choose to do so. So to start, I live in Connecticut, as I said earlier. I've been growing with tower gardens for 8 years, both indoors and outdoors. And I think everybody has touched on that a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I love this product. 365 day a year growing. I mean, if that interests you, throw a number 1 or a thumbs up or something in the chat box. I would love to just see some of those flowing by. 365 day a year growing of all the beautiful nutrition that Charlene mentioned that we can flood our bodies with, and that we save all the money that Dianna was talking about, $320 on average a month. I haven't gone to the store to buy a bag of produce forever. I can't even tell you when, because I love growing with this incredible innovative technology. And that is part of why I aligned myself with this heart-centered company, because I just wanted to share that with everybody, that we do not have to be reliant and dependent on the food chain, on the food supply all the time. We can grow our own, like everyone has said so far, so simply. And that is the key to this, is simple growing with this incredible technology that is so smart. I wanted to show you one of the sections, because I'm not quite sure if we've covered yet exactly how it works. There's a reservoir here at the bottom. This is the home version. We have 2 versions. One is the home. It's a 13-gallon reservoir. It holds 13 gallons of water. And the tower tonic, which are the nutrients that feed the roots that are growing on the inside of the tower itself. That is what aeroponics is about. Aeroponics is oxygenation of the roots, and it is a closed circuit watering system, much like hydroponics, but hydroponics grows vertically. Aeroponics saves on land space and grows vertically. And it's amazingly simple and amazingly smart, because not only do we save, we use only 2% of the water. So we use 98% less water than traditional soil gardening, which is amazing. Talk about sustainability. And we use only 10% of the land space. So we're saving 90% of the land space that regular soil gardening outdoors in the dirt, that takes up. So we're saving both water and land. And you tell me, isn't that hugely important for the sustainability of our planet and for, increasing population growth? We're going to need to feed a lot more people. I wanted to show you one of the sections. So this is just one of the sections that makes up the tower, okay? So the inside, in the reservoir down here, is a pump, and it works on a timer. And can you see this? I think you can see this. Sorry, everybody. You can see this middle piece. That is like basically a PVC plastic hose. And so the water is pumped up through this, and then it rains down through this. You can see it looks like a shower head, all those little perforations, and it waters the roots, which are growing on the inside of this tower. I'm going to quickly pull one of these out. I think Charlene already did that. And you can see here the root system growing on this baby. This is still a baby, sorrel. If you've never had green sorrel, you've got to try it. It's unbelievable. It's almost like biting into a lemon, but when you cut it up in pieces in a salad, it gives you that delicious citrus kind of flavor, and it gives you a nutritional punch like you'd never had before. The root system is beautiful. Again, that is growing. I might as well show you right here. That is growing like this on the inside of the tower, you see? And so since it's a closed system, it is fantastic for faster food production. One of the key points I want to just tell you a little bit about the research that's been going on from the University of Mississippi, the agricultural department. And there has been a study, a peer-reviewed, published paper that was showing the results, the summary results of comparing aeroponic vertical tower gardening, it's called aeroponic, and comparing that to traditional soil gardening. And what they found was absolutely amazing. Probably because it's a closed system and it waters itself. We don't have to do anything. It nourishes itself. The plants grow 2 to 3 times faster. I don't know about you, but that is hugely beneficial to me. I harvest all the time. I think like everybody has been saying, you don't necessarily harvest the entire plant. You just take off the leaves that are mature enough to eat. That's how Charlene made that beautiful bowl of salad that she's getting ready to eat any minute now. So 2 to 3 times faster. What they found also is that the tower garden yields an average of 30% more produce per plant. The plants are nourished, again, by this cycling water and nourished water, nutritious water. And so they're also growing much quicker. They're growing much denser, much more produce. And they're also growing much more nutrient dense. So they use something called a refractometer, which measures the nutrient density of the plants. And the plants on the tower garden versus soil gardening were an average of 32% more nutrient dense also. That's huge. Another thing I wanted to just say about the PVC that this is designed with, because it's something that we don't really talk about. We don't pat our backs much with it, but it's something that I was really interested in. Like it's been mentioned already about the GMO and things. We've got to all be really careful and conscious of what we're putting into our bodies, because we're going to get out of our bodies only as good as we put in. The materials that's used to create the PVC, this that you see here, the whole unit, is food grade PVC. That means it does not have any BPAs. BPAs are toxins which are found in most PVC plastics, probably all for that matter, but this is food grade PVC. So there's nothing, no chemicals, no toxins that are ever going to leach into your produce. Like Sean said, I think you can grow anything that grows above ground. So we're growing everything from, I grow squash and tomatoes and cucumber and peas and broccoli and cabbage, like Charlene said, bigger than my head. It's amazing how affordable all of this is. I'm jumping around a little bit. Sorry, back to the materials in here. I just thought of another point that's very well worth saying. When I've been growing with this tower for 4 years now, a couple of my other towers I've been growing for 8 full years. They will last you forever because the company, in its infinite wisdom, designed UV protection in the PVC plastic as they were forming these units, the one that I just showed you. They also then take the next extra step to coat the outside with a UV protector, because, you know, outside in the sun, you know how a lot of plastic kind of degrades over time? This will never do that. It's amazing what the company has thought of. Those are a couple of the points I wanted to cover. And the last thing I want to just touch base on is the business. I just want to explain to you like how and why I got involved in the business, because I wasn't looking for something else to do. I really wasn't. And when I came across the company, the Juice Plus company, and the whole food nutrition and all that we offer, and I started to understand that none of us are getting the amount of nutrition from plants into our bodies on a daily basis that we require in order to optimize our physiology. None of us, sorry, but none of us are. And then when the company, about 2 years after I started eating their whole food nutrition capsules, the plant powders, they came out with this tower garden. And I couldn't believe it. I was, well, maybe it's a guy thing, but it's a toy. It's something really cool that we can all like get our heads around, and we can grow and have fun. And like Dianna said and Charlene said, we get them in the schools, we get them in the Boys and Girls Clubs. We teach kids how to take control of their own food supply back. And it's just such a beautiful synergistic way that we can all share good health with each other. And when I saw that and experienced this and how great it grows produce and how much it grows every single day of the year, and that I don't have to shop for organic anymore because mine's cleaner than organic. I use no sprays or chemicals or anything. I said, I've got to become part of this company. I've got to share this with everybody that I know. And so, you know, for as little as $52 a year, that's it, $1 a week, I get the privilege of sharing all of their products. There's only a handful, literally, and this is one of them. And I think somebody mentioned, you know, whenever I share this technology with people, whenever somebody kind of gets that, wraps their head around the fact that, my goodness, I could give the gift of health this holiday season to people that I love and care about. And oh my goodness, they'll actually use it and it will actually benefit their bodies so that I will get the benefit of enjoying their friendship for many years to come because I'm actually sharing health. It's super important that we all step up and look out for each other and care for each other and share our hearts. And that's what I'm all about this season, especially. And I did bring something special because I can. It is the holiday season. Where's the little ball? Everybody consider giving the gift of health this year. I mean, we all have enough socks and jackets and mittens and whatever else we all get each other. You know, think about something like this. Just think about what it will do for someone else's family, and maybe share with them the possibility of joining us in our mission to inspire healthy living around the world. And with that, I think we're going to go to the Q&A portion of our presentation. I hope that that's where we're going. Is that right, Sean?
Yeah, we're going to show a quick video. So get your questions together. I hope you saw the comments pop up there, but we're going to do a quick Q&A and Q&A, get that together. But I'm going to show a short video, you guys, while they go through the comments and see what comments they can gather in. Put your questions and answers in the comments. We are so excited. We've had 53 people live on here. So check out this short video that tells you a little bit more about how this amazing garden works.
Tower Garden's state-of-the-art aeroponic vertical garden system uses both water and air to produce more colorful, better-tasting, and incredibly nutritious fruits, vegetables, and herbs. Tower Garden has a 20-gallon reservoir at its base that stores the Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Developed by experts in plant and human nutrition, Tower Tonic Mineral Blend enables superior plant growth and better nutrition from your Tower Garden produce. The process begins once the seedlings have been placed in your tower garden. Here they will be nourished with Tower Tonic nutrient solution. Inside the reservoir is a small, low-wattage submersible pump. The pump pushes the nutrient solution up through the tower to the top. From there, nutrient solution drips through the central tower using a special device that evenly cascades the solution over the exposed plant roots. On the journey down the tower, the nutrient solution feeds the roots and becomes highly oxygenated as it cascades gently down the reservoir. This process is continuous, providing fresh oxygen, water, and nutrients to the roots of the plants. This patented aeroponic process enables food crops to grow faster than they would in soil, so they can be harvested more often. And it makes Tower Garden the healthier, easier, smarter way to grow your produce.
Oh my goodness, that is amazing. Just so we've been sharing with you all how this garden works. It looks like Ham has something he wants to show us.
Thank you so much, Sean. I forgot to show this because I did want to show everybody. The four of us actually have just pretty much brought in new towers. Can you all see this somewhat?
Yes.
It is my outdoor tower. I don't know. I'm trying to show you, and this is what all of our towers are going to look like before too long. There you go. It just popped in. I see the light. Sorry that I don't have this on mounted on some board or something, but I just thought it'd be fun to show you. This is what it's going to look like. So in literally another 4 weeks, you will not see any of this PVC plastic. You will see nothing but produce, and it will mostly be going in my tummy. Tower to tummy.
That's right. And tower to table. So I got 2 questions start. I'm going to go with the first one from Logan Farrell. They said, hi there. How about herbs? Charlene talked about microgreens. So Charlene, why don't you talk about microgreens? Who wants to take herbs and who wants to take carrots? Go ahead, Charlene, with the microgreens. Oh, hold on. Let me unmute you.
Okay.
Go ahead.
The microgreens have only been planted for 1 week. And look at this, they're ready to harvest.
Wow.
And so what we do is cut them about 1 inch or 2 inches, and we leave 1 inch. Can you all see this okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then once you leave that inch, next week I'll have to cut it again. Now, as far as herbs, I have grown herbs. I have grown all of my thyme in here. This is chives. You see, look at the roots, and it will grow a little bit more, and I'll chop it off, and it keeps on growing. And while I'm on that subject, let me just show you all the root system of this basil, because Chaundria herself has some that grew for years. But with the basil, look at that. That is the root. And this will get 4 times this size. And we know this is an herb. So yes, you can grow plenty of herbs here. They smell wonderful and taste even better.
And somebody asked about carrots. They also asked about carrots. And somebody in the comments said carrots, but who wants to take that one?
Am I muted or anything?
Nope.
Okay.
We hear you.
I would love to answer that, because I was very surprised this summer when a couple of my friends who have 3 towers locally told me, when I introduced them to these clips, instead of the net pot that I think Charlene was showing you a minute ago, we have these. I'll take it off. You can just see. We have these white clips that you can just hang to the inside of the growing port. And one of my friends planted carrots and radishes in different rockwool cubes. And they grew, they were kind of short and stubby, but they grew some beautiful carrots, and the radishes were fantastic. I was surprised that they could do it, but they just grew down inside the tower, kind of like the roots do, because remember, they're just root vegetables. It's interesting. Did someone else just say? Somebody says radishes, and I have friends who grew carrots, so she did too. Yeah, Denise, you're right. And it's interesting, just to follow up a little bit more on Charlene's. Again, we can grow anything that grows above ground, literally anything that grows above ground. So that includes all different herbs, all different fruits and vegetables. And one of my friends was growing raspberries. I know a lot of people grow strawberries in the summer, watermelon. Sean, you mentioned. It's kind of amazing. The list is literally pretty much endless. I wouldn't suggest potatoes.
No. So we got another question from Michelle Nahome. Probably crazy question, she says, but can you put 2 rockwool seedlings in the same port? I ordered seedlings and had to order a minimum amount. My dog ate some of my plants. Oh, the animals, that's how you know it's real food. The animals love the veggies. And I have 1 extra seedling. So her dog ate her homework, or ate her stuff off her tower. So what tips do you guys have for Michelle?
Go ahead.
Can she put 2 rockwool seedlings in the same port?
I do it all the time, and I'll tell you why. I have a place that I get seedlings, and they are half the size. I squash those two rock wheels together and stuff them right in this pot, and they grow huge. So the answer is yes.
Yeah, I've done that too, Diana. I'm not sure if you have yet.
Not yet.
She's been growing for 6 months, and I know she just loves it. I was a lucky recipient of one of her salads. But yeah, I had an extra rock wool too, Michelle, and what I did was the seedling got big enough, and I actually just was able to cut the two rock wools in half, the two cubes, and put them together. And I just put a rubber band around them to hold them. So I had two different plants growing out of one port. And yes, that's very possible. It just takes a little bit of ingenuity.
Oh, nice. Okay, so we got a bunch of questions. Okay, how do we support bigger veggies and fruits that we want to grow, like eggplant and squash? And I don't know who here has a cage. I have a cage that goes on my tower. Charlene does. Ham is raising his hand. Diane. Okay, we all have cages. We just didn't show them because we're not growing. Nope. Ham has his ring of support there.
Yeah, I've got my lights. My lights are all configured so that I'm sort of lit here. But it's basically just a cage system that's made up of, I'm not going to show you all the parts, but I'll show you enough. Just these. It's really kind of cool. It's a support cage, what they call it. It just all kind of pops together like that and stacks. You get 3 rings, and it fits over the tower so that when you have leggy, viney things like squashes and tomatoes and cucumbers, that they will be supported. There you go. Wow, look at you. Aren't you fast and special? I mean, I'm telling you guys, this company, just a quick note, the product was originally innovated by a guy named Tim Blank, and he was the executive director of the land exhibit at Epcot Center. And the land exhibit, it was the hydroponic and then became the aeroponic growing center where they grow most of the fresh produce for Disney and Epcot. And before he left, he thought, wouldn't it be brilliant if we created a mobile unit for family use so that people could use them anywhere? I've got friends in the city who have them on their fire escape, people who have them on their rooftop in the city, small apartment living, in your back.
Diana shows that right there. She's in an apartment, right, Diana?
Yeah, 2-bedroom apartment. That's it.
Yeah.
And you don't have much space. Tell them about where you grew outside, Diana, because that was very cool.
Well, that's one of the questions we have. So can you answer while you answer this? If you put your tower outside, do pests get in the tower, Diana?
To answer your question, that is a yes. It's just goes with nature. But to be honest with you, I find that spraying your vegetables with a little bit of Epsom salt and water, you want to do a ratio of, it's about a gallon of water to just, it's about a 1-to-1 ratio. So it's not much of the magnesium that you want to be using, just enough to keep the, kind of like a repellent. Not only that, but the plants love the magnesium, so you're not hurting them or killing them. You could also use neem oil. Neem oil is another good source for keeping pests away. Also, with growing inside as well, I do use the same concept because you will get different insects that will be attracted because now the temperatures. For me, I live in Connecticut, so the temperatures are now changing where it's colder. So now that it's warmer inside the home, you get different kind of insects, but you can keep them away with just using a little bit of Epsom salt and water in a spray bottle.
Yep. They say that if you don't have bugs in your garden, if the bugs don't want to eat your food, like her dog ate her food, then it's probably not a good ecosystem going on in your tower. Right. So, a healthy balance. You don't want an overabundance of aphids or bugs and stuff. But yeah. I tell you, Charlene has a story about a frog. And I love to keep a frog in my tower. I have a frog that lives on my deck. He finds his way. We have a creek behind us. But every garden I've had, the best gardens always have a frog in it. So if you can find a frog, usually one makes his way to you. But a frog is in your tower. Charlene, can you briefly tell that story about your frog in your tower?
I sure can. I was fighting with that poor frog because I was growing in the summer outside. I had my tomatoes. I had the cage, so I had the eggplant. I had squash, and it got cold for 5 days, and I did not want it to get frostbitten because I was going to be gone. So I brought it inside, and I found that was a frog. I had to leave home for 5 days, could not catch the frog. And when I got back, the little frog was on my pavement. I put a jar over it and let it free outside. But I'm like you, the frogs eat bugs. Now, I don't like bugs, but I grew up in the country. And one thing that I know is that when you have bugs, you have some good food growing. So I was going to show you this. This was introduced to me. I put this on my tower, indoors and outdoors. The bugs get stuck to it. Also, every year I have learned to grow a marigold plant. They don't like the smell of marigold. And if you can be proactive by spraying things like cinnamon in water, Epsom salts in water, peppermint soap in water, Dawn soap in water, you can keep them at bay because the benefits of eating all this nutritious food outweigh the few little bugs that you're going to get.
Right.
Yeah. Somebody also asked, Judith asked, can you show us a bigger item like cabbage, tomatoes in the garden? So I'm going to show my picture here. I have a picture of I call it my cabbage, collard green garden, rainbow chard. So if you can see that there, those are all collard greens that I'm standing next to with some cabbage in there. I choose to grow everything that's going to suck a lot of water out of the tank. So I know which tower needs to be watered, needs to be filled up all the time. I learned that lesson. If you're going to grow plants that take a lot of water, like tomatoes, collard greens, those plants that suck a lot of water out, I put them on one tower. And that way I know that tower needs to be filled up probably every 2 days, especially in the summer or in the winter, because those plants suck out a lot of water. Watermelon, those things take a lot of water. But I love growing cabbage, collard greens, all of those things. Rainbow chard. I have a freezer full of bags of rainbow chard, as you can see in the middle. That is rainbow chard, which see how huge that chard is. And when you go in the store, what's in each one of my hands will probably cost you at a farmer's market $3 to $4 with those 5 or 6 or 7 pieces in my hand. The seeds probably cost $1 or $2 for me to plant. You guys, I'm telling you, this is a no-brainer. I have an unlimited supply of food. And the third garden is tomatoes. I got poblanos. You can see the poblanos kind of hanging down there. I had everything on this garden. I couldn't keep up with it. I have my cage around it as well, but it's covered in all the produce. And some of the bugs ate some of the stuff too, but that's part of, gardening. That is definitely part of gardening. So that's just what I wanted to show. Cabbage, collards, all of those things. Now we got another question, pH level. I see Charlene has something on her tower. Can you explain what a pH level is?
This thing is so easy because this is a chart. You need to have it between 5.5 to 6. So after you put the nutrients in, you wait 24 hours because the pump is circulating the water. And it's so simple. You just take this, and kids love doing this, school children, your children, 5 milliliters, 5 drops of water, and you see the color that it turns. If the pH is too high, because if you have water that's hard or soft, you have the nutrient, you have the solution that they send you. One lowers the pH, one raises the pH. So it is not hard to keep the pH level to where you need it. And the vegetables love it. They just flourish. And I wanted to add to something you said earlier, Chaundria, about singing to the plants. You all know your physiology from school. You breathe out carbon dioxide. The plants live on carbon dioxide and give us oxygen. So having this in my house is not only soothing because of the water running, but it also helps to oxygenate and purify the space, and I love it.
Awesome. So that answered Denise's question. So who wants to take this one? How often does a tower garden needs to be watered? I kind of touched on it, but just an average one. How often?
I don't. I'll start. I have both sizes of the towers. So the home has the 13-gallon reservoir, and the Flex has the 20-gallon reservoir. The Flex is the one, the bigger one. The 20-gallon is the one that I usually grow most of my water sucking, like Sean was saying, water sucking plants. That when I have my summer towers, and I actually don't use the support cage even for that. I just let my tomatoes and my cucumbers and my squash and cantaloupe trail on the bottom. Um, I am probably topping off that level of water in the tower once it gets to be a mature tower, so you can't see any of the white plastic. Um, Probably every 5 days, 4 or 5 days. In the heat of the summer, it depends here in Connecticut how hot it gets. It could be every 3 days. But for the most part, if I'm growing, which one of my towers is typically all herbs and greens, and that tower doesn't take nearly as much. And I'm probably topping that one off every 6 days or so. And when I say topping off, it's literally just putting a hose in the top of it and adding about 6-8 gallons of water and a little bit more nutrients. It's really simple. This tower indoors without the heat, I'm telling you, this is in my windowless basement, so anybody can grow anywhere. There's somebody who shares these in Alaska, and she sells hundreds of these towers a year. That makes sense when you think about this technology. The indoor towers use a lot less water, I find, because I'm not typically growing the viney things that need pollination. They need pollinators. They need the bees and everybody to help out the squash and the zucchinis and all that. So this tower, it's going to be probably eight days. I need to top it off.
That's okay. So this is a little snippet of what the home looks like and what the Flex looks like. We're showing you ours, but this is kind of like a breakdown of it. You can grow either one indoors or outdoors. The only difference is the one that is the home. It has a smaller base, as Ham was saying, 13 gallons. The Flex has a 20-gallon base. We find that either one has wheels, so you can put wheels on either one, so they both can be mobile. So the only difference is really the base. You also can put microgreen extensions on either one as well. The home unit comes with that, but you can add those to the Flex unit if you want to grow microgreens. You can also add extensions if you want to go higher. You heard me talk about how I go up with mine. So if you have one tower and you say, I don't need to buy another tower, I just want to add maybe 2 more connection or 8 more ports onto it. You just buy those connectors and you just go up. I think you can go up to 12 or 16 feet with that same pump that comes with it. So some of the things that come with this tower when you order it is going to be the tower itself. If you want the lights, those are additional, but if you want the tower itself, you get the tower. You also get a package of a variety of seeds. You get the rock wool. You get the nutrients, the mineral nutrients to keep your plants fed. You also get the pump. You get the timer that turns your pump on and off. Am I missing anything, you guys? You also get a pH reader, what Charlene has on her, so you don't have to buy a digital one. I'm colorblind, so I have to own a digital reader because I was starting to say, well, what green is this? Is this red or orange? I can't tell. And my stuff started turning funny colors, so I went on and invested in a digital. I put a link in the comments if you guys want to check out the digital reader. You don't need an expensive one. They all work the same, but that is an option. And you can grow anything. We've heard people growing carrots and other things. And also Charlene was holding something up there. That is how you clean out your tower. It took me a year to know what this was for because I didn't watch the video. A video comes with it. You are also encouraged to join our Facebook groups. And also the person that you purchase it from. Stay in contact with them because they are going to be your resource to all the amazing seed growers and seedling growers out there and all of the amazing events like we're having today to educate you. But there's a simple way to clean out this tower. You can reach out to us to show you. I actually did mine last night. I just haven't edited the video to put on my YouTube channel, but it is so easy. Charlene, if you hold that up one more time for us. You literally hook this plastic tubing up So if you guys are growing, this is me growing indoors, and I don't take my tower outside to clean it off. I don't. I hook one end to the pump. It goes to the pump, and the other end goes in a bucket, and I let the pump turn on, and the water comes through the pump into the plastic into my bucket. I turn it off when it gets full, and I go pour it down my drain. I have a drain in my basement. I pour it down the drain, or you could pour it outside in the backyard. That is what that tubing is for. It's amazing. It makes cleaning out your tower so easy, so quick. I think it took me less than 20 minutes to clean my indoor tower out, wipe it all down, re-put everything back in, and I was done. I think those are our last questions. Oh, this is a good one. Does the temperature in the room where the tower is growing matter? Who wants to take that last question?
Okay, I would like to answer that one because I have gone through menopause, so I cannot take heat. Some people think that you have to have it warm inside. No, I keep my temperature 60 to 62 degrees. And you see how well this is growing. So the temperature indoors has not made a difference at all.
Dianna, do you have a temperature?
Yeah, I was gonna just add a little tip. Living in Connecticut, it does get a little cold here, so you don't want to fall below at least, I would say past 45 to 40 degrees. I think anything below that would just kind of put some frost on, onto the leaves, and it could kill it. So anything below 40 degrees I definitely would not. Wouldn't
That's very
agree with.
helpful. Yeah, that's very helpful. So I grow in my basement, and I find in the summertime, I run a dehumidifier in my basement. We lost Ham. I guess he'll be back. His signal might have went out. But I grow a dehumidifier inside. I run a dehumidifier in my basement because in the summertime, it can get really stagnant down there. But I also run a fan in my basement. I find that helps kind of keep things circulating, but I don't really have a temperature. But I keep the humidity down a little, kind of balanced about 60 to 70 percentage on the humidity in my basement. And I keep a fan blowing directly on my tower on low. So that's what I do. And I run my dehumidifier just because it is a basement. So, you just watch your plants. You go in and talk to them every day, and you watch them and talk to them, and you just get to see things, and you'll see if something starts creeping up. But I don't really have a problem with pests on mine.
I got to tell you, Sean, for the first time, from my experience growing, it was literally like watching gold like grow off of these stems, because the way that all the nutrients would just shine from as soon as the sun would come peeking out in the morning, I'd be with the plants, checking them, inspecting them, and they would I was so amazed because the glistening of all the minerals that are just being held within those leaves and the roots, it was actually an amazing experience for first time as a tower garden grower. It was really cool. And then tasting it was I was like, is this what we're supposed to be eating? Like, oh my God, this is amazing. I could not believe the taste. And I myself cook just like Charlene. So to taste the freshness of those vegetables, I was completely blown away. And I was so happy to know that I have invested in something that costs as little as $55 a month to get. It's like I'm eating gold. So to me, I mean, I have people tell me all the time, asking me, what am I doing different? And I'm just telling them, Juice Plus, Tower Garden, that's it. Fruits, berries, vegetables. Here it is, right here on the aeroponic garden.
You are right about that. So, I mean, there's no better way to end that than the way Dianna just ended it. And Charlene's beautiful tower back there, Dianna's beautiful tower. And I'll put mine back up there. It's down there all alone. I thank you guys. And Ham was here. He would say farewell. And do you guys have any parting words for our guests? Any last words?
I would say let's grow together, because some restaurants are not even serving salads because there's a global shortage of salads. So I say let's not depend on someone else for our food when we can grow it indoors or outdoors so easily.
Yes, we're saying our parting words. To Ham or Dianna?
Go ahead, Ham.
He went out again. Go ahead, Dianna.
I'm gonna say you are what you eat. So in that regards, you are what you eat, and I'm healthy. So
yeah, that's a good one. Hamilton, are you frozen or can you give us some parting words? Oh, I think he's frozen. So I would say echo Charlene and Dianna, and I know Ham. This has been an amazing presentation. We know the power of food. I have grown traditionally in soil, and the results that I've gotten from that and growing on this vertical aeroponic soil-free garden for me has been a game changer. I've been able to grow both ways. So whichever way you choose, we want you to just grow something, grow your food. We would love for you to learn to do it the easy way, especially to conserve water, to help our environment out, and to use less resources. So those behind us can have the resources available to them. And we have less of a carbon imprint that we're putting on the earth today. So let's all do our part, get healthy at the same time, and let's grow together. And if you guys want to make it a business, reach out to the person that you invited. If you want to become a customer and get your own tower, reach out to the person that invited you to this call. And until next time, thank you so much, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.